Module 6. Module 6 mainly deals with quality control. Before going to the quality control, we should know what is quality. Quality is fitness for use or purpose. Quality is fitness for use or purpose. Quality of product gives customer satisfaction. So quality is what customer wants. Quality gives customer satisfaction. So quality is what customer wants. Okay. It depends upon conformance to design specification, production system and manufacturing procedure. Okay. So quality is, it is the degree of excellence of the product or service. Degree of excellence of the product or service. Quality is equal to performance by expectation. Expectation is what the customer expect and the performance is what the product performs. So quality is performance by expectation and it is denoted as Q equal to P by E. If the performance if the performance of the product is greater than the expectation of the customer, we can say that the quality of the product is excellent. So if Q is greater than 1, that is performance is high, then customer will have good feeling that the product is good and perfect. Okay. Next, what are the factors affecting quality? The quality depends on many factors like market, men, money, machine, material, management and method. So what is meant by market? Market means type of customers. Every product has its own customers. That means the products should satisfy the customer need. Okay. The iPhone is used by rich people. Okay. And but the phones like Redmi and others which are budgeted phones which are used by an average person or by a below average person. Okay. So the need of the customer vary according to their preferences. So in the case of market, we should focus on the type of customers and price they are willing to pay or price they can pay for the goods. Okay. So the market is nothing but the customers and the customers willing to pay for the product. Okay, that is the market. Next, men. Men means workers who participated in the production of the product. Okay, so the workers with knowledge and good skill should be selected. Next, money. Quality costs money. If we want to produce quality product, then we should invest money or we should invest more money. Okay. Next, material, machine. Okay. We'll go on to material. Choice of the material is a critical one. For producing good quality products, we should use good materials. Okay. Next one is machine. Accuracy of the equipment is very important in the case of producing quality products. Next, management. Management of the company sets the quality policy by providing this quality machine means the equipment with good accuracy. Then good material should be provided. Then they are the authority who are investing money. So management sets company's quality policy by providing men, machine, material and money. Okay. Next, method. Okay, uniformly and well planned procedure understood by the workers should be implemented. That is uniformly and well planned procedure understood by the workers should be implemented. So good method should be understood by the workers so that they can act according to the method or the procedure followed in the organization. Next, quality control. What is quality control? Procedure of meeting the quality goal. It is nothing but procedure of meeting the quality goal is called quality control. Procedure of meeting the quality goal. Every organization has a quality goal. For attaining that quality, a procedure or method is there in the organization. So, quality control is nothing but procedure of meeting the quality goal. In any organization, controlling is an or in any organization, controlling can be defined as the process of setting standards, measuring actual performance, and taking corrective actions. Controlling means setting standard, then um, then we analyze that whether the performance of the current process meets the set standard. If there is any deviation, in the actual performance, corrective actions may be taken. So controlling is nothing but process of setting standard, measuring actual performance, and taking corrective action. So the quality control may be defined as by means by which actual quality performance is observed is then compared with standard quality performance and then taking action if the observed quality performance is different from the standard quality performance. Okay, so the quality control maintains the quality of the product to the established standards, maintains the quality of the product to the established standards. Okay, next, before going to that, okay, functions of quality control. What are the functions of a quality control? It can be explained by four steps. Functions or the quality control involves, first one, setting the quality target, then evaluating actual quality, taking corrective action in the case of deviation. If any deviation is there, we should take a corrective action, planning for improvement of the quality. Okay, that is, the functions of quality control includes setting the quality target, evaluating actual quality, taking corrective action in case of deviation, and the fourth and the last one, planning for improvement in quality. Okay, next, objectives of quality control. What are the objectives of quality control? Quality control is mainly focused on producing optimum quality products at low price. That means increasing the productivity. The quality control mainly focused on increasing the productivity or increasing the efficiency of the organization. It will accompany with cost reduction. So the main objective of the quality control is to develop optimum quality at low price. That means it comes with cost reduction. Okay, if a company producing a quality product, it will result in customer satisfaction. Okay, or the needs of the customer will be satisfied by these quality products. Next, as we are producing quality products, the sales will be increased. As the sales increase, the profit will be maximum. So it will give the organization a good profit. Next, it helps in prompt inspection. For quality control, quality check must be there. For quality check, inspection must be there to ensure production for non-defective parts. It ensures, quality control ensures the production of non-defective parts. Okay, then we should know that what is inspection. What is inspection? Inspection is a inspection has a very important role in quality control. Okay, so we should know what is inspection. Okay, inspection is a part of quality control. It means checking the actual quality of material product with the established standards and detecting defective items. Okay, the main role of the inspection is to check the material product with the established standard. Check the actual quality with the established standard and finding out the defects. Okay, it is the process of checking the acceptability of the product. An inspector or the process inspection helps in accepting or rejecting the lot which is produced in the organization. Okay, inspection detects or locates the defects in the item and also the cause of defects. Okay, next, objectives of inspection. What are all the objectives of inspection? First one, to detect defective raw materials. The inspection comes from the beginning stage. Okay, that means at the time of material collection. So the inspector detects the defective raw materials and it will be discarded. Okay, so to detect defective raw materials. Next, to detect defective semi-finished products, to detect defective finished products. First one, raw material, semi-finished and finished products. From this defective materials or defects are identified and we can avoid the defective pieces. Okay, to avoid defective products. So in the area of everywhere or every stage, that means from the material collection to the production of a product, these all stages an inspector or the inspection team work out and finds the defective pieces. Okay, next, to earn customer satisfaction, to improve company's reputation. That means to detect defectiveness in raw material, semi-finished products, finished products, and this will help in avoiding the defective pieces to get into the hands of customer. This will help in the customer satisfaction and help to improve the company's reputation and its goodwill. Okay, so the inspection will help in avoiding defective products to reach the customer and the customer will be satisfied. So the quality control helps in getting reliability with its customers. Okay, types of inspection. What are all the types of inspection? First one is first piece inspection. First piece inspection, as the name indicates, it is used to check the quality of products made in automatic and semi-automatic machine before starting regular production. One piece is made as per standard for checking, confirming the quality of the product. First piece means making first piece or one piece is made and we will check whether the product is as per the standard for confirming the quality of the product. Okay, as if we are producing the product as per the standard, we will continue the production. If the first product is not good, then we will rectify the defects, or we will focus on where the defects occurred and we will rectify that. After that, another first piece is produced, and it is repeated till a first piece with standard quality is produced. So after producing first standard quality piece, the production will start. This first piece inspection will always focus on the quality check of products made in automatic and semi-automatic machine tool. Okay. Next, floor inspection. Floor inspection, as the name indicates, it is the inspection done in shop floor itself. Okay. Floor inspection has other names: patrol inspection, roving inspection, etc. Inspection done on the shop floor itself. Inspector walks from machine to machine. Okay. In floor inspection, the inspector done the inspection on the shop floor itself. Inspector walks from machine to machine. Correct operator's mistake on the spot. Okay. Next is centralized inspection or lab or view room inspection. The inspector is placed on a separate centralized lab. Okay. In the shop floor, the inspector walks in and around the production area and identify the mistakes from the shop floor itself. In this centralized inspection lab, the inspector is placed on a separate centralized lab, and in that centralized lab, all equipments, sophisticated equipments are there to check the quality of the product. Okay, so an accurate quality check is possible using the instruments, or using the delicate instruments used there. Okay, so the inspector is placed on a separate centralized lab. Samples of job made by workers are taken to the lab. Inspection is done by using delicate instruments, and facts are accurately recorded. The result of inspection is intimated to the workers. Okay, next, 100% inspection. As the name indicated, all the products, 100% of the products are inspected. All products are inspected. Okay, in the medical equipments and all, we should check each and every equipment. So it is that much important, as it is the case with the life of the patients. Okay, so 100% inspection. Every piece is separately inspected. So for checking every piece, we requires more inspectors. So it requires more number of inspectors. For checking each and every product, the cost also will be increased. Okay, for checking each and every product, we need more inspectors, so we should pay them, and more sophisticated instruments are needed. So the process is very much costly. Okay, next, sampling inspection. Samples are taken and inspected. Okay, from a lot, some samples. So from a lot of 100 products, we will take 10 and we will inspect. And if the out of the 10 we are setting that 2 defects, it's not a problem. If there are more than 2 products, the lot will be rejected. Okay, or if the defects are minimum, that is 1 or 2, we will accept it. The number which the product should be accepted or rejected is set at the early. Okay, so samples are taken and inspected. Based on the results of samples, the whole lot is either accepted or rejected. It is of two types: single sampling plan and double sampling plan. In single sampling plan, a lot is accepted or rejected on the basis of inspection on a single sample. From 100 products, we will take a single sample of 10 numbers. Okay. After that, we will set an acceptance number. Acceptance number is that it is the maximum number of defective pieces from that sample. If you are taking 10 as a 10 samples, 10 number of products, we are setting the, we can set the acceptance number as 2 or 3. Okay, that will set at a predetermined according to the organization's concern. Okay, if you are taking a 10 pieces from a lot of 100 and we are setting that the acceptance number is 2, then from that lot 2 defect items can be acceptable. More than 2 defects are the lot as a whole, that means the 100 will be rejected. Okay, from that sample only are accepting or rejecting. Okay, in the double sampling plan, in this type, a lot is accepted or rejected on the basis of inspection of 2 samples. First, we have taken a sample that is from a product of 1000 numbers. We have taken 100 products. Okay, and we have said that 10 numbers can be the acceptance number. We also said we also have taken another 100 products. Okay, if at the first lot the acceptance number we set is 10, okay, if and from the second lot we have taken another 100 products. Okay, the summation of the acceptance number is taken. That means from the first lot a 10 is the acceptance number. From the 2 samples, that means 100 plus 100, 200, the acceptance number is 15. Okay, that means first sample we have taken that the acceptance number is 10 number. In the second lot, we are not considering it individually. We are taking as a whole. That means 100 plus 100, 200. The acceptance number is 15. That means first sample is taken, and if the defective pieces are below or equal to 10, we will accept the whole lot. Okay, we will accept the whole lot or the whole products. Okay, if the defective pieces are more than 10 and below 15, okay, note this point, if the defective pieces are more than 10 and below 15, we will consider the second sample. After considering the second sample, after noticing that 200 products, if we get less defectives, that means below 15 or equal to 15, the lot or the products as a whole is accepted or otherwise rejected. That means if the first sample we get 10 or below 10 defective pieces, the products will be accepted. If it is more than 10, that means 11, 12, 13, etc., up to 15, we will consider the second lot. After the summation of inspecting these 200 products, if the defective pieces are less than or equal to 15, it will be accepted, or if it is more than 15, the products will be rejected. This is the double sampling plan. Okay, next, material testing methods. Okay, in material testing methods. What is material testing method? The metals or the materials used in the manufacture of various products and structure are subjected to mechanical tests to determine the strength, ductility, and toughness characteristics of metal. Okay, we should know what is the strength, ductility, or the toughness characteristics, because these materials or products when used will subjected to these stress, toughness, etc. So we should know what is the ultimate limit or what is the maximum limit that can endure by the material. Okay, so the material testing method is mainly grouped into two: destructive testing and non-destructive testing. First one, destructive testing. In a destructive test, the test piece or specimen is destroyed. The specimen remains no longer useful. The specimen we used will be destroyed using the destructive test method. There are different types of destructive test methods. First one is tensile test. Tensile test helps to determine tensile strength, yield point, ductility of the material. In tensile test, the sample is gripped in tensile testing machine and the specimen is pulled until it fractures. Okay, the specimen is gripped in tensile testing machine and the specimen is pulled or stretched until it fractures. The tensile load applied as well as the elongation of the sample is measured and noted. Okay, next one is bend test. A bend test may be carried out on a tensile testing machine with the help of certain attachment. Okay, bend tests are used to find a number of properties such as ductility, strength, etc. Next, impact test. Okay, we have already studied the CHARP and ISO impact test in our material testing lab. Okay, so impact test. In impact test, the specimen is struck and broken by a single blow in a specially designed testing machine. The two basic types of impact test are CHARP test and ISO test. Next one is hardness test. It is also you studied in the material testing lab. We have studied the Rockwell test, Brunel test, etc. Okay, hardness test gives gives us clear idea about the resistance to wear of the specimen. So hardness test helps in finding the resistance to wear of a specimen. Commonly used test methods for finding hardness are Brunel test, Rockwell test, H test. Okay, Brunel test. It consists of pressing a hardened steel ball into a test specimen. The diameter of indentation made in the specimen by the ball is measured using a micrometer microscope. Okay, this Brunel and all you have already studied. Okay, next, Rockwell test. Rockwell hardness testing differs from Brunel testing in that the ball and the loads are smaller. That's all. Okay, next, H test. An H test involves inspecting the samples by polishing and etching the same with a chemical reagent. Okay, example, dilute acid. Okay, next, non-destructive testing. In non-destructive test, the specimen do not break or alter the structure or appearance of the material. Okay, the test do not break nor alter the structure or appearance of the test specimen. Tests have the ability to detect invisible subsurface defects. The commonly used non-destructive tools are X-ray radiography and gamma ray radiography. In X-ray radiography, X-rays are passed through the materials. The metal or the material is placed above a film. When these electrons of high velocity passed through the material, if the material have any porous or defective spots, the X-ray beams will easily move through it. That means the density at that area will be small. As the density is small, it will be density of the material is small. That means the defects are spotted. Okay, the portion of the parts having defects transmits X-rays better than those having no defects, as the density of the material at that spot will be less as compared to the surrounding material. So the film appears to be darker where defects are present. Okay, if there is any defect, the density of that area will be low, as the low density of the area will result in better transfer of the X-rays. So the film appears to be darker where the defects are present. The exposed and developed film is called as radiograph. So in X-ray, radiography is used for detecting blowholes, porosity, cracks, etc. X-rays are produced in a X-ray tube where a filament provides electrons which proceed towards the target. During the process, a part of kinetic energy is converted into radiation or X-rays. The portion of metal piece to be inspected is exposed to X-rays emitted by the tube. X-ray film is placed behind and in contact with the metal parts. Okay. Next, gamma ray radiography. Gamma ray radiography is also somewhat like that of X-ray radiography test. Okay. Gamma ray radiography is used for detecting defects in metal parts thicker than those inspected by X-rays. So thicker materials compared to the X-ray radiography. Okay, thicker materials can be detected by using gamma ray radiography method. Scattering of gamma rays is less. So gamma rays are emitted in all directions. Therefore, a number of metal parts can be inspected. Source of gamma rays are radium, radon, cobalt 60, etc. Better penetration compared to X-ray is obtained using gamma rays. Gamma ray equipment being small possesses better portability and convenience for field of inspection. Okay, thank you.